Hey, happy late July here. I just unloaded more wood and did a little more trail making here. Not very exciting, but covered up the wood. Got some chicken wire. It's all donated so far. And then spent a little time, worked on the trails, and what was a little butterfly? Monarch, I think. Did have a bit of an intuitive thought on the shed. So when you kind of walk in on this trail from the road, I don't want to do anything too close to the road, just out of sight. I like this little grove off to the right here for like camping and maybe setting up some hammocks, fire pit on the other side where it opens up a bit. Road's not far, but again, just to hang out, like people couldn't see you from the road if you were hanging out down here. Maybe a fire pit over here. I'm facing about south right now. So that's real nice, looking up on the property. Big meadow and then larger trees up above. So it's obviously going uphill here. I also liked this area right above, potentially for the shed. And if we did rain catchment off the roof, caught it in big 50-gallon barrels, we could then use gravity to bring it if we had like a compost toilet or a sink or dishwashing station or something. So I made this little trail up in here. I'd never been back in here. So it's this kind of cool little nook in between these trees here. That's heading back to the car. Made a little trail there. Here's an opening here, facing out to the meadow. And I kind of cut a little section here. There's plenty of space for a 12 by 12 or a 16 by 12. There's the fence. That's the line. Property back there. We're kind of butted up against it. This is obviously the more forested area. I haven't explored and gotten to those larger trees over there yet. It's really dense, the tall grass. So this is a really cool view, and this is facing south. These vines get on this tree. So this little opening here, and I got as far as here. It looks like these are all raspberry or blackberry bushes here, so I obviously want to keep those. I'll probably clear out this grass up to it so that it can flourish. And then I'll make a trail this a ways over to that forested area. There's definitely a woodpecker doing something over there. He's been knocking, I think, on that big dead tree, which I'll leave. So, I think that like this area in here is kind of like prime time building spots. So I don't really want to do that, have the shed taking that up. This would be a potential. I mean, I don't think it makes sense to have the shed out here. One, because it's not going to be as attractive as maybe the tiny home or a geodome, whatever's going in, and I don't want it to be an eyesore. There's a bit of a division here. These small trees and this bush, and then some other, whatever the hell those are, small trees and bushes. So there's kind of like a nice building spot right here for like a tiny home kind of spot. Again, facing south, gorgeous view of the mountains. And then on the other side, there's lots of space, and then down as well. So anyhow, and also for the shed, if we're doing rain catchment with a metal roof and we have a slant to it coming down this way, it'd be best to have less snow on it if possible if we get a big storm. So I don't know, but I was thinking that if it's under this canopy here, that might get less snow. So with that idea, if it were to be somewhere like back in here, starting here, 12 by 12 or 16 by 12, facing out this way between these two trees, it would, and then if the windows were up top, the doors here, the windows are across here with a little loft bed. It's not going to be insulated, so it's not a long-term sleeping solution, but it would be I think it would feel kind of like a treehouse. It'd be kind of cool because you'd be on a bunk up here with the windows going across and have a pretty awesome view. Otherwise, it would just be kind of facing down this way, which is fine too. Just not as spectacular a view. Either way, the rain would be caught in barrels back here and then could be brought down. All right, I think that's about it. I believe I've already been out here. I'll just go again just for the hell of it. Nice time of day, I thought. Probably 3 or 4. So here's the big meadow. Gorgeous. Some more raspberry bushes. Yeah, I might have done this yesterday. I can't remember now. Came up here. Did a little switchbacks. And here's more raspberry up there. So this is a great area up in here. Although south really is more here, so I want to keep that in mind in terms of solar gain if I'm gonna do anything where I'm trying to get sun. And then I did get a little bit into here, but I haven't explored back in there yet. All right. I'm exhausted and I'm hungry. Oh, look at that. I didn't realize the view from up here too. Some big mountains around here. It's Dolly Sods, the beginning of Dolly Sods. Southern tip of it. All right, I'm gonna come down for Money View. Oh, I can't resist. I'm going back. All right, almost. Okay. Ta-da. Peace and love.